One word to describe competing for SFU is tradition.
My word is success.
Determination.
Experience.
Inspiring.
One word to describe competing for SFU is excellence.
It is family.
Passion.
My word is pride.
Opportunity.
My word is patriotic.
I am Sophie Swant.
I am Adam Jones.
I am Peyton Smith.
I am Justin Guerin.
I am Victoria Saunders.
I am Braden Charlton.
I am Michaela Guerrero.
I am Graham Miller.
I am Christine Howlett.
I am Adrian Vanderhelm.
I am Michelle Waters, and we are proud to be on Canada's NCAA team.
And welcome everybody to the West Gym. It's Simon Fraser University basketball here on Clan TV. I'm Howard Samura from varsityletters.ca, and the Clan ladies today set to host St. Martin's as they return home from a split last week on the road. Simon Fraser women came away with an 81-67 win over Western Oregon in their opener last week. Nicole Vanderhelm played her best game in a Clan uniform, scoring a game-high 30 points on 9 of 13 shooting. That also included 10 of 11 shooting from the stripe for the former Holy Cross Crusader. She also had 10 rebounds in 34 minutes of action. Sophie Swant with 14 points and 6 rebounds, and Jessica Jones, the redshirt freshman, adding another 12 points. So a great outing against Western Oregon. Simon Fraser then hit Portland on Saturday, losing 79-69 to the Concordia Cavaliers. Jessica Jones led the team with 19 points. She went 7 of 11 from the field, including 3 of 6 from beyond the three-point arc. Also had 3 assists, 3 steals in 30 minutes of floor time. Taylor Jackson with 15 points. And the point guard Taylor Drynan had 12 points from 4 triples, also supplying 4 assists in the losing cause for Simon Fraser. So at the midway point of the season, the Clan is 7-7 overall, 2-4 in GNAC play. With 14 regular season games to go, Simon Fraser will look to climb their way up the standings and earn a berth in the conference postseason tournament. Standing in their way today, the St. Martin Saints, led by head coach Christy Martin. Last week, St. Martin's hosted Central Washington and Northwest Nazarene at home, but could not find a win. Against the Wildcats, the Saints went on a 9-2 run to get within 1 possession with 1:18 left, but they never managed to find that key shot to tie the game, ultimately losing a low-scoring affair, 49-46. St. Martin's then lost 79-61 to the Nighthawks, a result of 14 second-half turnovers. So St. Martin's comes in tonight 1-5 in GNAC play, 5-9 overall, and the team enters today's contest on a 5-game losing streak for head coach Bruce Langford, the Simon Fraser Clan. This is one of those must-win games in the earlier stages of your GNAC season, especially at home, to protect this home court, come away with a victory, and they'll have to be at their best today against St. Martin's. We will await the horn, the national anthems, and we will rejoin you again here on Clan TV for the start of the player introductions. Thanks for joining us again. Howard Samura back with more from the West Gym after the anthems.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the West Gym here at SFU for tonight's game between the visiting St. Martin's University Saints and your Simon Fraser University Clan. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we do ask that you please rise and please remove all hats for the playing of the American National Anthem. time standing and join us in welcoming here to sing the Canadian National Anthem, a grade 7 student from Pitt Meadows Elementary and a regular performer with the Showstoppers Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, Kiara Henderson.
She's beside me.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot, in all thy sons command, with glowing hearts we see the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Kiara Henderson. And now, basketball
Henderson with a spirited version of "Oh Canada," the grade 7 student from Pitt Meadows Elementary School. The real treat for the small crowd on hand here today atop Burnaby Mountain. It's a bleak, dark, wet Thursday in January outside. Simon Fraser, though, with a key battle here in the early stages of their GNAC campaign as they begin to reach the midway point of that schedule. Really need to come away with their best effort here tonight. The split on the road, disappointing with the loss against Concordia, I believe a team that St. Martin's has beaten this season. St. Martin's with that one victory on the season, and they will be coming in here as a very determined team on a 5-game losing streak. So Simon Fraser can expect to get St. Martin's best shot here as we begin a 2-week game weekend set. Simon Fraser men also in action today at Montana State Billings, and producer engineer Gabe Lynn letting us know that we'll be getting updates from Montana State Billings, perhaps even a live cut-in if we can at one point. The Simon Fraser clan being introduced right now. Nicole Vanderhelm wearing number 4, having a great start to her first season on the hill. Taylor Drynan, the point guard of Gonzaga Prep, also introduced to the crowd here. Taylor Jackson wearing number 12 will man the middle for Simon Fraser. Not feeling too well over the Clan ladies homestand before they embarked on their road trip. She was battling the flu. Hopefully Taylor feeling better today and can get back to playing the kind of basketball she's been supplying early in the season as one of the top scorers on this team. Sophie Swan, the physical force, the heartbeat of this team, being introduced as well at one of the power forwards, or at the power forward spot. And I believe Tia Sang also in that starting group in this basketball game for the Simon Fraser clan. Oh, check that, Claudia Jessica Jones. I will get it straight, number 33. Having trouble reading in the dark. They bring the house lights up, and Jessica Jones, number 33, part of that starting lineup. It's number 25, Ellen Johansson, Sanaya Simpson-Patu, McKenna Schultz, Rebecca Bao, and Emma Kennedy in the starting lineup for St. Martin's. Underway here. Taylor Drynan, number 5, as Simon Fraser wins that opening tip. For a week away, the Clan ladies happen to be back in the friendly confines of the West Gym. Jump shot hoisted by Vanderhelm off the mark, but an offensive rebound recycled underneath the basket. And that was Drynan who got that started. Drynan working off the screen, the skip pass to Swant on the baseline. Sophie, a great pass to a cutter, Vanderhelm, but that ball will escape her grab attempt underneath the basket, go out of bounds and go to St. Martin's. The Saints are coached by Christy Martin in her first season at the helm for St. Martin's. Hannah Reynolds is a starter. We had the wrong starters listed there. Hannah Reynolds, one of those starters. In close. And that is Simpson Patu, who will draw the foul underneath. Nicole Vanderhelm being called for the foul. So it remains scoreless a minute in here, but the Saints getting to the free throw line first here tonight. .69% free throw shooter on the season. And leading the team in trips with 81 is Simpson Patu. And she's going to make them both here for an early 2-0 Saints lead. Swant, her offensive production at its best in her career this season. With the basketball, Vanderhelm now. Back to Sophie. Jones has scored reliably into double figures. She's got the basketball right now to Swant. Weaving through the defense and puts up an off-balance shot, and becoming a bit of a specialty for Sophie Swant to square herself as she makes a drive to the basket. Of course, she loves to dig in on the defensive end, and she's doing a great job there, although Simpson Patu able to score the basketball. She's got all 4 St. Martin's points here in the early going. 4-2 lead for the visitors from Lacey, Washington. Three-pointer well off the mark there. Nice attempt at a rebound there by Vanderhelm, who's going to re-squeeze the basketball, but getting her hands in there to contest it is Emma Kennedy. And so on the alternating possession, they'll give the ball to St. Martin's. Already a sub. And that's Jayla Russ coming into the basketball game now. Jayla Russ, the Division I transfer from Eastern Michigan. Jackson defending one-on-one. Swan comes in, reaches in, and I think Sophie is going to get called for the foul there. And the Swedish native Ellen Johansson getting to the free throw line as we watch her at work here. Some nice post moves there to draw the contact. She's going to miss on the first. Johansson, the 6'1" senior out of Gothenburg, Sweden, leading this team at 16.2 points per game. She rattles the second one home. So St. Martin's with the early 3-point lead here. Aggressive zone defense being played here by St. Martin's. Vanderhelm tries to shoot over the top, comes up short. And Simpson Patu pushes the tempo down the floor underneath the basket. And I believe Russ stepped on the end. Oh, a foul being called, excuse me, against Simpson Patu. And that'll make it Simon Fraser basketball. Mercedes Victor, number 15, will check in for Simpson Patu, who scores 4 points, 4 of her team's 5 points, and leaves the floor. Simpson Patu, second leading scorer on this team after Johansson at 13.6 points per game. Taylor, the pass to Jones, and off the mark on the three. Simon Fraser can't find their offensive rhythm. Hannah Reynolds, number 3. Russ back up top to Victor. Underneath, great look to find Johansson underneath the basket for the lay-in, and very quickly, head coach Bruce Langford will bring in 2 subs at the next stoppage. It's going to be Claudia Hart and Tia Sang set to check in. You got to wonder if those changes being made because of that basket. Certainly they were. We saw Coach Langford rise up and call for the 2 subs as soon as that basket was scored. Here's Jones driving. Battle for a loose ball. And Jessica Jones is going to get called for the foul as 2 players went to the floor. Things just not going Simon Fraser's way here in the early going. Kendall Sands as well, number 15, will check in. So wholesale changes here for the Clan as Taylor Jackson and Jessica Jones as well as Sophie Swant, all coming off the floor. Vanderhelm and Taylor Dryden will be the only two Clan players remaining. So 3 new SFU players. They hope to find some crisp execution, some new energy here. Clan trailing 7-2 in a must-win situation here. Three-pointer off the mark there by Hannah Reynolds. And Dryden quickly down the floor, finding Hart in full flight, but Claudia there can't squeeze it as well. The ball going out of bounds. And 4 minutes into this basketball game, Simon Fraser not finding the execution they want. That's Kennedy. To Reynolds. Jump shot off the mark there. Simon Fraser, ample opportunity here to get back into this basketball game. Here's Vanderhelm driving hard on the baseline. Recovers the basketball after the miss, but can't get the putback. And right down the floor, Johansson's going to find the sweet spot underneath the basket. Ellen Johansson now with 4 points in this game. Here's Tia Sang. She wants it. She's going to get called for the offensive foul. Nothing is going Simon Fraser's way in the early going. Every attempt at game momentum seems to be a step back in the wrong direction. So Sophie Swant will now check in after a short break for Vanderhelm. And Simon Fraser, like their men's team, going with an 8-player rotation. So a short bench here for the Clan. Everyone is going to have to be ready and available for duty here tonight. Here's Emma Kennedy. Sands guarding her. Kennedy quickly up to Reynolds. Russ up top to Victor. Mercedes Victor. Sang out beyond the arc to guard her. So shot clock now under 10. And Russ on the baseline, cut off nicely by Tia Sang. So immediate timeout called with 3 seconds on the shot clock. We'll take a short break as well here from the West Gym. St. Martin's 9, Simon Fraser 2. Back with more from the West Gym in just a moment on Clan TV.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is passion. Because to accomplish anything, you have to work for it. You need to love to work for it. My passion for basketball drives me to dedicate everything I have to it, day in and day out. I am Graham Miller, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA men's basketball team.
And we're back with you here at the West Gym. Of course, today's game is live streamed on YouTube, of course, and you can watch it at athletics.sfu.ca/live. Also, watch it on demand at athletics.sfu.ca on demand, where you'll find the entire treasury of Simon Fraser games in all sports. Right off the timeout, a great look with only 3 on the shot clock there. Unable to score it. The shot clock violation called for Hannah Reynolds. So 9-2 is our score here. Kendall Sands cutting to the basket. Hart saves it, gets it to Dryden. Taylor with a 3 goes in and out, and Sophie Swant with some great hustle to get back. But I believe Swant stepped on the end line. They'll turn it over, and a chance to build their lead to double digits here for the St. Martin Saints. As we mentioned, coming in with a one victory in the GNAC and a 5-game losing streak. So clearly the impetus on the ladies from Lacey, Washington to have their best effort of the season. They've played well thus far. Reynolds to Johansson in her sweet spot. From the elbow, on the edge of paint, wherever, if Ellen Johansson gets it, she's going to score the basketball, averaging over 16 a game. And has 6 points thus far. Drynan this time with another three-pointer that won't go. A great job underneath. Sands with an offensive rebound but can't finish it off. And Simpson Patu battling down the floor. Rises for a short baby jumper, can't get that one to fall. And here comes Taylor again with the basketball. Drynan charging down the middle of the court. Sophie feeding inside. Ooh, and Claudia Hart unable to score the basketball. And those are the ones that'll give keep a coach up at night. Get the look you want, can't get the finish. There's Simpson Patu with a miss, and again the Clan will come down the floor. They are trailing by 9 points. They've scored 2 points in 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And I believe shooting 1 for 10 right now from the field. Sands to Swant. Back up top to Drynan. They have to steady the ship here. Certainly leaving points on the floor. Shot clock now down to 5. The skip pass, it's going to have to be put up, and it is. Although the miss there again by Claudia Hart. Tough sledding here for the Simon Fraser Clan in what might be their ugliest opening quarter of the season. So the foul being called against Johansson. I believe that's her first of the game. Indeed, it is Taylor Jackson now into the game for Claudia Hart. Claudia, like Kendall Sands, like many players on this team in the early going, have got quality looks and just have not been able to score the basketball. But credit this aggressive zone defense right now for St. Martin's. Here's Swant over the top. Again, a miss for her. And the agony continuing here for the Clan. That was Ball with the basketball, number 13. Gets moved around now, and there's some new players on the floor. Here's McKenna Schultz. We haven't called her name. She's one of the top scorers on this team as well, number 10. Shot clock's down to 7 for Reynolds. Handing off to Johansson. Move to get around Jackson, and she'll rattle the ball home. So Ellen Johansson makes it a double-digit lead at 11 points, 13-2. Simon Fraser with a big hill to climb here now. Kendall Sands with a lay-in. Some breath of fresh air there for Simon Fraser. Boy, that ends a big-time drought for the Clan, who scored early in this quarter. Kendall able to convert underneath the basket. Victor underneath to Johansson, her first miss of the game, but Ellen working hard underneath. They call a jump ball. That will be Clan basketball. Christy Martin, the St. Martin's coach, wants to talk to the officials, protesting a foul, but the referee quick to call that jump ball, and I think that was Coach Martin's thought there, that a foul had happened there, but Simon Fraser will get the basketball. Down to 1:24 remaining here in the opening quarter of play. Howard Samura, glad to be with you. The whole Clan TV crew atop Burnaby Mountain here tonight. Simon Fraser Clan wearing their home whites, but unable to get their attack going. Drynan thought about the jump shot instead. The dribble and the pass around to Sang for 3, and Tia knocks down the long distance shot. And all of a sudden we got a different basketball game here. 5 straight points by the Clan to make it a 13-7 game. So the lead down to 2 possessions here. Here's Johansson, oh, and she will commit the offensive foul. Taylor Jackson specially standing in there and taking charges. She did it all through her high school career at Brookswood, and the Cal Irvine transfer steps in front of Johansson to make a statement defensively. So 49.5 seconds remaining, and it's Simon Fraser basketball, a chance to build on this short little 5-0 run. Sands up top to Swant. And the angles are tough to play against this zone defense. They're certainly not passive. And a simple entry pass, just based on the way St. Martin's is playing, it results in another turnover. Down to 32 seconds remaining. Certainly the zone that Saints have played in the opening half or the opening quarter has been a big story here for Simon Fraser. They could get them to relax out of it. They could just hit some 3 balls, but Tia Sang with the only 3 thus far for Simon Fraser. About 2 seconds difference between game and shot as we get down to 13 seconds remaining. Wow, that was a foul on Sophie Swant. I certainly don't like to comment on the calls a lot, but Sophie was there clearly ahead of time, positionally, didn't look like she did anything wrong, but be there on defense and gets called for the foul. McKenna Schultz will step up, and maybe we'll get a look at that on the Clan TV replay. Schultz makes the first to make it a 14-7 as we take a look here. Clearly, it looks like Swan was there. But calls will end up going both ways over the course of the game. The Clan can only hope here as McKenna rears up and knocks out another one, 15-7. So nice little comeback here from the Saints at the end of the quarter. And that one there, typical of what Simon Fraser's been about in the opening quarter of play. 2.8 seconds remaining. Simon Fraser has scored 7 points in the first quarter thus far. And likely the extent of it with 2.8 seconds left. We should let our viewers know on the Clan TV network that we will be going to the men's game. Simon Fraser at Montana State Billings as soon as this first quarter ends. So stay tuned to your computer screens to see how the men are doing at Montana State Billings. Clock running down to 1 second remaining. They want to put up a quick shot. Can't get it done, and the first quarter will end with a score St. Martin's 15, Simon Fraser 7. And let's head off to Montana State Billings for action there as Simon Fraser with a 36, I believe it is, 28 lead right now over Montana State Billings in the opening half of play. So a great job there by the Clan. Montana State Billings wearing their home yellow. Certainly a tough travel day here for the Clan to get ready for this one, but they're hanging tough here in the opening half of play. We don't know how much time is left. I can't quite see the clock there. I'm being told by producer Gabe Lynn, 1:17 remaining, so almost at the half, and that's an 8-point Clan lead. Of course, Simon Fraser coming off a extended 3-game homestand, and it was a tough one with that loss to Western Washington. That last second loss to Northwest Nazarene, but of course the impressive win over Central Washington behind the 40 points of Kadar Salam. So Provenzano right now with the basketball for Simon Fraser as they get to the final minute of play in this first half. Salam now with the basketball. Ooh, is repelled as he tries to get in close as we go under a minute remaining. 36-28 our score. As we get back to action here, Montana State Billings puts up a shot that's not going to go, and Provenzano very quickly down the floor for the men to Salam. And we will continue to keep you updated on Simon Fraser men's basketball here tonight. Back to live action here at the West Gym. Simon Fraser coming off a 3 of 16 shooting performance in that opening quarter of play. They also went 1 for 8 from beyond the arc. Typically not Simon Fraser basketball there. And we'll see if they can't reinvent themselves, rediscover their old selves here in the second quarter of play, trailing by 8. Kendall Sands, Jessica Jones, Tia Sang, Taylor Jackson with the basketball right now, and Nicole Vanderhelm, the 5 Clan players on the floor. Three-pointer put up by Jones from the baseline corner doesn't go, and a ball ripped away by Rebecca Baugh. Reynolds to Simpson Patu. She uses the screen, but Tia Sang with the steal, and here come the Clan. She slows it up at half court. So the Clan will set up at half. Vanderhelm, the quick release 3, bingo! Nicole Vanderhelm, a big shot there for Simon Fraser. So 2 of 9 now from beyond the arc. The three-pointer, a big weapon here for the Clan if they can get going. And also a big weapon in terms of getting St. Martin's out of that zone defense, which they've had trouble breaking down in the half court off the dribble. Jumper off the mark there by Jayla Russ. Sang thought about the quick 3. Instead they go to Taylor underneath, and she is going to get fouled by Jayla Russ underneath. So Taylor Jackson getting a chance here to shoot some free throws. And just like that, the Simon Fraser clan crawling right back into this basketball game. Take a look at your clan TV replay as Jackson with that decisive turnaround move. And Russ, no option but the foul underneath unless you wanted to give up the easy basket. (15-11). Taylor Jackson now set to shoot her second. She'll knock that one through as well. It's a one-possession lead, just like that. The clan right back into this basketball game. Talked about taking care of business against a one-win team in the GNAC. Certainly nothing disparaging about St. Martin's, but you have to win on your home court in these situations. And Simon Fraser really needs to amp up their effort here in the second quarter. Double team comes quickly as they kick it out. Saved by Simpson Patu to Reynolds. Jump shot for three off the mark there as Russ can't find the mark from downtown. Clan with a chance to pull within one or tie. Largest St. Martin's lead was 11 points. Clan have cut it to 3. Here's Vanderhelm. Off the dribble. Nicole Vanderhelm was carrying the mail and just deposited it home there as she cut through the paint. Nice defensive effort there by Kendall Sands on Simpson Patu, trying to deny her the basketball. Simpson Patu with a nice move though to pivot in the paint, can't get it to fall. Kendall Sands with a rebound quickly up to Jones. Jones quickly, Vanderhelm 3-ball, bingo! Nicole Vanderhelm back-to-back threes. And Simon Fraser all of a sudden right back into the lead at 17-15. What a huge start for the Clan. That is a 10-0 run to start this second quarter of play. Simon Fraser trailing 15-17. Great look as Nicole Vanderhelm holds the follow-through. And you watch enough jump shots, you know when the shooter knows she's hit one. Vanderhelm must have felt really good about that one. It was a perfect delivery from the baseline for 3. And Simon Fraser, as you take a look at their timeout, certainly want to continue what they've been doing. Our halftime score, 40-28 for Simon Fraser, and the men leading Montana State Billings at the half. So a great effort there to go up by 12 points at the half, and our thanks to producer Gabe Lynn for all the details from Montana State Billings. Another look at a Vanderhelm basket. Nicole huge here in the second half. He drives into the paint, and it's almost like she's carrying a sack of potatoes, just kind of hurls them over her shoulder. And they fall for Simon Fraser, 17-15, the Clan with the lead. SFU with a 2-4 record in the GNAC, of course, and a sweep this weekend would get them to 500, something they would love to have happen. Montana State Billings now with the basketball, and Hannah Reynolds having a tough time against Vanderhelm. Spin move, keeps the pivot, skip pass, underneath, just off the mark there. That was Mercedes Victor unable to finish it off underneath. Here's Taylor, one bounce and a kick to Tia for 3. Cross-court pass to Jones. Sang the entry, one-on-one, turnaround hook. Doesn't fall for Taylor, they go after a loose ball. St. Martin's is going to win that battle as Reynolds quickly down the floor. Simpson Patu can't get the roll, and Jones with a rebound. So Clan with a chance to continue this 10-0 run here as Vanderhelm with a head fake gets called for the travel on the wing. It's going to be Claudia Hart, number 13, Sophie Swan, number 21, and Taylor Drynan, number 5, into the game. Out of the game will be Tia Sang, Kendall Sands, and Taylor Jackson. Simon Fraser can't sub more than 3 players into the game at a time because all they have to sub in are 3 players. McKenna Schultz up to Simpson Patu. Back to Reynolds. Shot clock is now down to 10 as McKenna drives. Whoa, that is a high arcing shot off the window. And it ties this game at 15, or 17, check that. McKenna Schultz, the sophomore, the hometown girl out of River Ridge High School in Lacey, Washington, with a basket there to tie this game. Claudia Hart thought about the three instead. Nice dribble to the basket by Hart. The foul's going to get called against Hannah Reynolds, I believe. Indeed it will. Number 3 with her first foul of the game, the second team foul. Take a look at a replay here on the Clan TV replay screen. Clan with a quick strike to make it 19-17. Both teams kind of finding their stride here and settling in. It looks like we're going to have a good competitive game here tonight. Great take to the basket there. A bit of a hesitation dribble from Mercedes Victor, but it pays dividends for the 5'11 sophomore out of Hawaii. Kendall Sands getting called for the foul. Well, Jessica Jones checked that. Her second of the game. Victor with the miss.
Substitution for SMU number 1, Tia Sang.
Second shot good there for Victor. Ball movement by the Clan on the perimeter results in a baseline drive by Vanderhelm, gets knocked out of bounds. They're going to reverse the call. Nope, they're going to be overruling that one. It will be Simon Fraser basketball, looks like. So Taylor Drynan just wants to know, am I inbounding or not? And number 5 will indeed inbound Clan basketball. 5:30 left in the half and 16 on the shot clock. Mark Kasang. Shot clock's down to 6 for Taylor Drynan. Cross court to Vanderhelm for 3, and she has the answer. Nicole Vanderhelm with her third triple of the game to make it 22-18. And that's pulling one out of the fire. There was no cohesion to that possession at all for Simon Fraser. Nicole Vanderhelm, though, rewards her team by just hitting a shot, just flat out hitting a 3-ball with no options left. Drive to the basket. Simpson Patu, big time basket there as she drives and pulls up, goes off the window to pull her team within a pair. Why not take another one? Bingo! Number 4 for Nicole Vanderhelm in this opening half of play. 25-20 Vanderhelm, the fire starter here for Simon Fraser, played so well to start this second quarter. She is doing a terrific job here. I believe that's 4 triples in the game now for Vanderhelm. Simpson Patu's crossover move to free herself from Tia Sang, and she knocks it down. She's keeping her team in the basketball game right now. Back-to-back buckets for the second leading scorer on this team. We haven't seen much of the post player Ellen Johansson. Here's Hart putting up the long distance shot, and Claudia Hart knocks it down. The redshirt freshman out of Seacove Secondary in North Vancouver with a big shot there to make it 28-22. Drive against Sang. And Simpson Patu is a true talent. Las Vegas, Nevada native. Takes Sang to the basket, drives it home. Here's Tia with a jump shot. The mark there from 3. Taylor Drynan getting a long rebound. They're skipping on the baseline for Sophie. Swant couldn't grab it and the ball turned over. Kendall Sands, number 15, checking in for Taylor Drynan. 3:24 remaining in this basketball game. Or in this first half, check that. Simon Fraser trailed by 11 points. They're leading by 4. That's a 15-point swing. And certainly don't want to have to rely on those kinds of swings to get back into a basketball game, but a extremely slow start for the Clan Ladies, who trailed by 11 at one point, 13-2. Sanaya Simpson-Patu, though, is keeping her team in the basketball game. Scored their last 6 buckets now. She's doing a terrific job of keeping her team in it. Here is Vanderhelm with a miss from the elbow. A rebound there by Kendall Sands. She skipped it to Claudia Hart, but so many turnovers in this opening half of play for Simon Fraser. So many of those skip passes going awry here, and Simon Fraser not able to mount sustained offensive pressure in the half court. 2:39 remaining. Simpson-Patu, who has the basketball right now out of Rainier Beach High School, a real basketball factory in the Seattle area, although she's a native of Las Vegas. 5 on the shot clock now. Shot hoisted there, and it's not going to go for Rebecca Baugh. But the new shot clock, another opportunity for Simpson-Patu. Emma Kennedy. Again, the shot clock running down to 10 seconds here as Swan plays some great defense. Ooh, is Kendall Sands getting called for a foul? Kendall, I didn't see it, but Kendall Sands, the closest player to the basketball, is getting called for the foul. So under 2 minutes remaining, and another new shot clock here for St. Martin's. McKenna Schultz now with the basketball, number 10. Right back to Simpson-Patu. Tia Sands guarded her for the most part in this opening half of play. Skip underneath. Great defense there in the post, as Laura Lindley had an opportunity to score it. 3 Simon Fraser players converge on him. Hart passes up the 3, Claudia right to the rack for the lay-in. And a great job there by Claudia Hart. You see the jump shooting ability, but also the ability to put it on the floor and get to the basket in a hurry. Nice decisive move by the redshirt freshman. Here's Schultz to the free throw line, ball reversal, and they'll skip it into Lindley. And again, unable to score it underneath as Simon Fraser takes away the high percentage shot underneath. Nicole Vanderhelm to Swan, cross court pass to Sands. They'll skip it to Claudia Hart and move it around the perimeter. Ooh, had their great look with Vanderhelm, but the foul is going to get called against Emma Kennedy. Simon Fraser moved it well, found the mismatch, and Vanderhelm got roughed up a bit underneath the basket there with 54 seconds remaining. Vanderhelm again, so dangerous from downtown. This time a couple of bounces and the quick pass to Swan. Sands drives in, goes off the window, and Kendall Sands. Nice basket in the final minute of play here for Simon Fraser to give them a 6-point lead, and obviously a nice turnaround from, as we mentioned, that 11-point deficit. 6 seconds difference between game and shot for St. Martin's. Down to 20 seconds remaining in the half. Simpson-Patu tries to split the defense, puts up a tough shot off the window, doesn't go, and Simon Fraser has plenty of time for a nice look here. Clock down to 10 seconds as Sands takes the basketball, down to 8, down to 7, down to 6. The basket here would be huge. 2 seconds, Sands needs to put up a shot. She puts up a 3, and it will fall shy. 32-26 our score after the first half of play for Simon Fraser. If it wasn't their slowest start of the year, it was one of them anyway. Simon Fraser finds their way out of an early jam to take a 6-point lead here at the end of the opening half of play, and we are set to be joined by Nicole Vanderhelm of the Simon Fraser clan. And Nicole, that was a very slow start by you guys, but you recovered. What happened to get back into the game?
We just started defensive reboarding, and then we just hit the outlet, and we got in transition and got some good, easy buckets. So yeah.
Talk about how dangerous the 3-point shot is for your team, and you especially hitting. I think you hit 4 in the first half.
Yeah, almost anyone on our team can hit the 3, so it's nice just to pass it out and know that there's someone there that can hit it. So
now, this team has struggled that you're playing tonight. You guys are at home. This has got to be, at this point in the season, a must-win game for you guys.
Yeah, we definitely want want to take this game and the next game, but we just got to come out in the first 4 minutes and play our hardest, and we'll be fine.
All right, Nicole, best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Nicole Vanderhelm, Simon Fraser Clan, our guest here at the half on Clan TV. And Nicole Vanderhelm, what a hot shooting prospect she was in the second quarter of play as we get our stats and take a look. Vanderhelm with 14 points to lead all scorers in this game. She's 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, 5 of 10 overall. 32-26 our score. We'll be back in just a moment from the West Gym.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is tradition. Because year after year, players old and new step onto the court with a unified goal to strive to be the best. It is the belief that maintaining a winning tradition is a competitive battle worth fighting for. I am Sophie Swant, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA women's basketball team.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is passion. Because to accomplish anything, you have to work for it. You need to love to work for it. My passion for basketball drives me to dedicate everything I have to it, day in and day out. I am Graham Miller, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA men's basketball team.
Hi, I'm Michael Provenzano, and I'm the point guard for the men's basketball team. You know, basketball players are superstitious. We like to have a routine, and I've never really been into that whole, like, I'm not going to wash my socks kind of thing. To quote my idol, Steve Nash, he always said, when I get into the lane, I need to find solutions. And I think that's exactly the way that I feel as someone who's a little bit under-athletic, maybe not as quick, maybe not as tall. I think I need to be able to find solutions when I get in there and ways to score a little bit creatively. So before the game, I like to go through every kind of situation. I go through my ball handling routine, obviously, which, being a point guard, you got to handle the ball quite a bit. I do my form shooting and stuff, which is an important way to get warm and, sort of get your groove. But I also do very specific shots. I'm always going to get some kind of hook shot in, floaters, runners, fadeaways, some scoop shots, everything with both hands. And I think that those are some frequent shots that you'll see from me in a game, depending on the situation. What I try to do is I just try to fulfill my role. We've got a lot of guys who are in a lot of different roles, and I think that my job is to facilitate, put guys in the right positions to score, call the right plays, be loud, be a leader. I'm a passionate guy. I think it kind of shows a little bit with, sometimes I get into it, and maybe sometimes I get a little over the top, but I think that is part of my role. Definitely, I have pride in performance. I want to play well. I want to put myself in a position to play as best as I possibly can, and I feel like the best way to do that is to be prepared.
When I first came to SFU, I thought I knew exactly what I wanted. When I got into my second semester, I suddenly wasn't so sure what I wanted to do anymore. So I started to explore a little bit. Archaeology, communications, history, even kinesiology. And then I decided to go on exchange to France for a year. I was an orientation leader for a year, became a community advisor in residence, helped start a choir. I even took a rowing course. After SFU, I have lots of possibilities of what I could do, but whatever I do, I know I'll be ready for it.
Hi, I'm Ben Meinecker.
And I'm Nathaniel Durkin.
And we're with the men's football team. Today we're going to be taking the women's soccer team and testing their football skills. Let's see how they do.
I can't even reach. I feel like a T-Rex. It's like stuck. It's like a mini dress.
There goes that little bird.
Yes.
How do you stand these things?
With your eyes.
Everybody to Clan TV, a special cut in here, the second half of play from Billings, Montana, as the Simon Fraser Clan men with a 42-37 lead, 5 minutes, or 4 minutes, check that, into the second half of play. Simon Fraser had led 40-28, but Montana State Billings has been coming on in the play as of late, have pulled to within 5. And just knocked down a triple to cut that margin to 5 points. They have the basketball now, wearing their home yellows. Number 13, Tyler Green, the guy that hit that three-pointer, has the basketball. He's going to pull up for an NBA three. This time going to switch that one as well. And here come the Yellow Jackets. They are knocking down the shots. They make it 42-40. Where did that lead go for Simon Fraser? The former double-digit lead for Simon Fraser now gone as the Clan get back to work. There's Lewin underneath it. Oh, Tyrell Lewin with a great opportunity for the layup. Couldn't get it to go, and Lewin, who's already shot a pair of free throws here in this second half of play, is going to get fouled again. They're actually calling a timeout on the floor. So while this timeout is taking place, we can bring you up to date on some first half numbers, and they are extremes for Simon Fraser. Take a look at those numbers overall, but Simon Fraser trailed 15-7 at the end of the first quarter, but they outscored St. Martin's 25-11 in the second quarter, rallying from an 11-point deficit to lead at one stage by as many as, by their largest lead right now, which is 6 points. So a 17-point swing took place from that largest deficit to their largest lead. And Nicole Vanderhelm, our halftime guest, was the key reason for that turnaround. Vanderhelm hit 4 3-pointers in that first half of play. She's 5 of 10 overall from the field. The game-high 14 points in 14 minutes for the transfer from Santa Clara via Holy Cross Regional Secondary School in Surrey. Other Clan scorers in that opening half, Claudia Hart with 5 points. 4 points apiece for Sophie Swant and Kendall Sands. And 3 points for Tia Sang, 2 for Taylor Jackson. On the other side, it's going to be Sanaya Simpson-Patu, who, like Vanderhelm, was 5 of 10 from the field, but didn't hit a three-pointer, didn't attempt one. She leads her team with 12 points. Ellen Johansson only played 10 minutes, picked up those 2 quick personal fouls, and sat the majority of the opening half of play, and her presence will be a big factor for Simon Fraser. They have to watch Ellen Johansson, the team's leading scorer, underneath Johansson with 9 points. We'll take you back now to Billings, Montana, as Tyrell Lewin steps up to the free throw line. Lewin's been fouled on both of his touches underneath the basket here in the second half of play, but misses the first free throw. Certainly Kadar Salam, you see him there wearing number 11, lined up on the side of the key. There is a marked man here after becoming the GNAC Player of the Week, averaging 33 points a game over those 2 games last week for Simon Fraser. Jump shot here for 3 is going to go, and Montana State Billings is raining down the 3 ball. They have now taken the lead after trailing by 12 at the half. As we look at that score clock, in 5 minutes, they have gone on a 13-2 run to open the second half of play. now with a 43-42 lead. Underneath, Lewin can't squeeze it. And here come the Yellow Jackets again. Zeron Richmond, number 12, corralling the loose basketball. Simon Fraser being called for a foul. It's been nothing but tough going here as Kamal Tall, the 6'8 senior out of Belgium, will inbound the basketball for Montana State Billings. Simon Fraser has seen their offense come to a grinding halt. We'll remind our audience we're about 4 minutes away from the start of the second half of play of the women's game. And we'll stay right here until that second half begins, but you will not miss any of the women's game. We'll let you know about that. Provenzano now with the basketball. Great move underneath, but Mike too strong off the rim. It rolls off the back of the iron, and those offensive woes continue for Simon Fraser. A new shot clock though. 14:27 remaining in this basketball game as Provenzano inbounding the ball to J.J. Pankratz, the senior out of Yale Secondary in Abbotsford. Pankratz, his drive, pivots, looks for an open man, still has the basketball, being guarded by Richmond. They'll go to Provenzano, shot clock, still plenty of time, down to 15 seconds here as Provenzano goes to work. Pankratz, is going to get called for the offensive foul. Tough break there for Pankratz. Montana State Billings with a 1-point lead have come back from a double-digit deficit at the half. Certainly in full command of the game's momentum right now. Terashima, number 1. Tyler Green, number 13, to kick out. Spinning move in the paint, and Simon Fraser takes possession of the basketball in that wild series by MSUB. Provenzano raises for 3, off the mark, and the rebound grabbed by MSUB. Drive inside there, I believe that was by Tyler Green, is going to be off the mark. A couple of changes coming into the game, including Sven Yashuda, the 6'2 junior out of Germany, now checked into the game for Montana State Billings. Simon Fraser has been going with the same group of players on the floor here the entire second half. Well, actually, Othniel Spence now with the basketball is into the game. Here's Provenzano, pass underneath to Sherman Newsom, kick to Kadar for 3. Salam off the mark, and Simon Fraser is in a major offensive funk here to start the second half. That deficit still remains just 1 point, though. Montana State Billings with a big drive inside, and they are taking it physically at Simon Fraser in the half court. The foul being called, I believe, against Provenzano. So Mike Provenzano getting called for the foul there as he tries to defend the dribble. And we'll shoot a couple of free throws here with 13 minutes left. We'll be leaving you in just under a minute for the start of the second half of St. Martin's and Simon Fraser women here from the West Gym. Our special cut-in to the action in Billings, Montana. And again, our thanks to the crew down at MSUB and, of course, our own producer, Gabe Lynn, for that cut-in. Give you a full flavor, and Gabe will be providing updates throughout this second half as the Simon Fraser Clan men try and win a real big one on the road tonight in Montana State Billings. Here we are back at the West Gym as the Clan ladies back on the floor. It's Jessica Jones, Taylor Jackson, Taylor Drynan, Nicole Vanderhelm, and Sophie Swant for Simon Fraser. Simpson Patu, number 1, McKenna Schultz, number 10. Ellen Johansson now back into the game for the Saints, wearing 25 as well. Rebecca Baugh, number 13, and number 10, who's McKenna Schultz. They are your Saints on the floor as we get set to begin the second half of play. Howard Samura with you, Clan TV. Thanks for joining us on a Thursday here atop Burnaby Mountain. Simon Fraser with the basketball to start it. Drynan pointless in that first half of play with the basketball there for a brief moment. Jackson kicks it back out from the post. Good look at it there for Taylor Drynan, unable to come up with it. Foul being called against Nicole Vanderhelm. That's going to be her second of the game. I thank Nicole Vanderhelm for being our halftime guest on Clan TV. Nicole acknowledging the ability of this entire roster of 8 players to hit the three-pointer. And it's huge. Underneath there as Rebecca Baugh unable to score it. Quick transition opportunity here for the Clan. They go right down the floor. Jones turns down the 3 back up top to Taylor Drynan. Jess will get it back this time, float the ball inside, and Sophie Swant with a nice strong turnaround move to the basket will draw the foul. Good execution in the half court by Simon Fraser as Emma Kennedy gets called for the foul, her second of the game. Sophie Swant in her junior season out of Argyle Secondary in North Vancouver, having her best season as a collegiate. Sophie in command from the free throw line. Clan with a 6-point lead. Kennedy's skip pass intercepted by Vanderhelm. Nicole to Sophie underneath and gets it right back for the lay-in, and Nicole Vanderhelm will finish what she started underneath the basket. 10-point lead, largest of the game here for Simon Fraser. And that swing now at 21 points from the largest deficit. Simpson Patu up top to Kennedy. Schultz with a 3-ball. McKenna showing the range there, but just off the mark as she backpedals on defense following the miss. It's Drynan quickly to Jones. Jess pulling up. She loves this shot. Just off the mark for Jessica Jones. Little hesitation dribble here from Kennedy. But bodies on the floor, both Vanderhelm and Kennedy, and the foul being called against Nicole Vanderhelm. That's going to be her 3rd foul of the game. It's very quickly Tia Sang springs up off the bench for Vanderhelm. So Nicole's going to sit for a few minutes here with that 3rd foul. A couple of changes also into the game for St. Martin's, including number 15, Mercedes Victor. And the other sub, I believe Hannah Reynolds now into the game as well. Ellen Johansson, we mentioned, those 2 fouls in the opening half of play, but in the low block, so effective in that strong start by St. Martin's, and she was key. Getting the basketball in the low block, her office, and really brings a lot of physicality to that position. Victor back up top to Schultz. Move it around the horn. Ellen Johansson was one step ahead of the process there. As that path came, she was already turning to make her decision with the basketball and lost control of it. So Johansson with a turnover and a 10-point deficit for the Saints. SFU now with the basketball. Jones. Drynan. Ooh, a tough turnover there as Taylor Drynan gets called for a travel. So they turn it over. Simon Fraser at their best in that opening half when they got the ball moving and started hitting those 3-point shots, especially from Vanderhelm. As we mentioned, Nicole had a great shooting game in the first half from distance here. Simpson Patu manufacturing her own shot just shy off the front of the iron. They're going to get a rebound from Victor to recycle the shot clock. St. Martin's certainly well within reach of getting right back into this game, and Simpson Patu had such a great first half. This time her foray comes up shy. Drawing into Sang down in the corner to Jones. Taylor's got it back, sees a seam in the defense, splits it. Taylor thought about the 3 instead. A bounce and a shot off the window is not going to go as she crashes to the pine. Under foul being called against Simon Fraser, and it's going to be against Sophie Swant, her 3rd foul of the game. So Kendall Sands will come into the game, the size of this roster is going to shrink in terms of its size as if Swant comes out of the game. And right now, both Swant and Vanderhelm each with 3 fouls, so the Clan have to get through a bit of a rough stretch here without 2 of their bigger, more effective inside players. Here's a 3 from Schultz, and she high arcs it home. McKenna Schultz with a triple to make it a 36-29 game. Sophie puts up the jump shot from 17. It rolls off the iron and out. Schultz pushing the ball up the floor. Drynan, great job to push it away from her, and Jessica Jones there at half court to take it over. Swant down the floor, an easy basket for Simon Fraser. And they go up by 9 points with 6 minutes remaining in this third quarter of play. Kendall Sands still continuing to wait to come into this basketball game as the play has begun to flow here. Reynolds back up top. Johansson, big step and a curling shot is not going to go. A wide swath to the basket there by Ellen Johansson. Oh, and a pass trying to thread a needle there was Jessica Jones to Taylor Jackson. Knocked out of bounds by St. Martin's. So Sophie Swan out of the game. Claudia Hart will come in as well as Kendall Sands. And Jessica Jones will come out of the game. Take a look at the Clan TV replay here as Jones feeds Swant on the break. Here's Tia Sang. 3-pointer goes in and out for Tia. Tough break there for number 1. Hannah Reynolds. Back up top to Schultz. They'll move it around the horn to Mercedes Victor. She will try to feed the post. That goes awry for Jayla Russ. But Russ corrals it and now trying to make the most of it through a double team. Splits it. Can't get it to go. A little street ball there being played by St. Martin's, and Simon Fraser, oh, looking for the home run ball down in the post to Claudia Hart, but it goes out of bounds and a missed opportunity there because Hart was right there for the layup. Taylor Jackson now out of the game as well. Vanderhelm back in with those 3 fouls. So Nicole's value high, and she's going to have to temper some things here. Simpson Patu thought she had an opportunity there instead. Going right to Kendall Sands. Here's Vanderhelm in full flight right to the basket, and Nicole affecting it nicely as she drives to the basket. McKenna Schultz with no option but the foul. There's a timeout on the floor. Simon Fraser 38 at St. Martin's 29. We'll take a short break and be back with more from the West Gym.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is pride, because every year my teammates and I push each other to do more than the year before. The amount of dedication and energy we have invested has propelled us to become a rising force in the NCAA. I am Michelle Waters, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA women's golf team.
And we're back with you here from the West Gym. Simon Fraser with a 38-29 lead. Nicole Vanderhelm set the step up to the free throw line. So Vanderhelm drawing the foul after she came in with and playing with those 3 fouls here. A little delicate in terms of trying to stay away from that fourth, and Nicole knocks down both free throws for an 11-point lead. I'll let our producer Gabe Lynn know we're having a little bit of trouble connecting with Production Central in terms of understanding our instructions, but we'll keep going here. with our live play-by-play from the West Gym, and St. Martin's wearing the black now with the basketball. Simpson Patu in traffic, and she manufactures a very tough jump shot from about 12 feet. She rises above the crowd and gets that to fall. 40-31 the score. Vanderhelm now with the basketball. Over to Hart, low pass there to Vanderhelm as she uses Claudia as a screen, pulls up for an elbow jump shot, can't get it to fall there. St. Martin's continues to push here. Simpson Patu driving down the floor, has the ball dispossessed. I believe that was by Hart. Sands now with the basketball. Vanderhelm wasn't looking, almost took her head off, but the ball does end up in the hands of Taylor Dryden. St. Martin's has not given up easy baskets in the half court. They have played well with that zone, and here's McKenna Schultz with a steal. Pass back to Simpson Patu. Underneath the basket, they will draw the contact and the foul as Simpson Patu lays it up and in. And Vanderhelm's going to get called for the foul, I believe. So then Nicole Vanderhelm now, with 3:28 left in the third quarter, has picked up her 4th foul of the game. And certainly the Clan, with just their 8 players, having to work things quite gingerly here in terms of their rotations, but Vanderhelm will sit for a while anyway. Simpson Patu completes it. And just like that, it's a 2-possession game here. St. Martin's, as we said, desperate for a victory, coming in off a 5-game losing streak. Sang on the baseline, skips it. 3-ball, bingo! Kendall Sands knocks down the big triple there, 42-34. Check that, a long 2 by Sands. They're going to go to Johansson. She's going to drive it against Hart and go right to the basket for the lay-in, and that is Ellen Johansson's game, something that's been missing here for St. Martin's. Sands with the basketball. Swan finds the open shooter. It's Dryden off the back iron. A scramble for a loose ball. Claudia Hart can't get it. Number 3 is Hannah Reynolds for St. Martin's. Sands guarding her. Reynolds still with the basketball. Shot clock down to 12. Finding Victor on the baseline, and Simon Fraser there with a block. I believe that was Swant, and Sophie now with the basketball right down the floor to Taylor Dryden. Dryden's going to pull up for 3, and the gain off the mark. They'd love to get Taylor going in terms of finding some rhythm on that jump shot. Really no one on this Clan team that can't shoot the 3-ball. And it's a big weapon for Simon Fraser, but right now, after building their lead to double digits, the Clan lead at 6 points, 2:03 remaining here in the third quarter. And thanks for joining us again on Clan TV from the West Gym. Simpson Patu, turnaround shot in traffic against Swan, and it's going to be an offensive foul as Sophie stands in and draws the charge. Big defensive play. We saw one of those from Taylor Jackson in the first half. This time Swant. Take a look on that Clan TV replay as Swant volunteers herself and takes the punishment. Results in a turnover, no basket. Simon Fraser now with the ball. Sang kicking it out to Swan, back up top to Jackson. Tia thinks 3, takes it, swishes it home. Tia Sang with a big triple there. Lead back out to 9 points, 1:22 left in the third. Underneath they go. Rebecca Baugh to Simpson Panu, and she can make something out of nothing. And Sanaya Simpson Patu out of Rainier Beach High School continues to create scoring opportunities for herself. Here's Taylor, the quick turnaround move, and a great move by Taylor Jackson as she spins to lay the ball up and in. That was, that one there, I don't know. It looked like Sophie was a little late getting there and could have potentially been called. At the next break, just to let you know, we'll be heading out to Montana State Billings again. Take a look at the Clan men in action tonight. See how their game is going down the stretch drive. Here at the West Gym, it's St. Martin's with a jump shot, and they'll knock it down. And that's Rebecca Baugh. Big shot there to make it a 6-point deficit again for St. Martin's. Sands to Swamp, they'd love to feed Taylor, but they're making it tough to make that entry pass. Tia now with the basketball. Swinging at half court. Out of the reach of Kendall Sands, right in front of the Clan bench. So with 26.3 seconds left, first-year head coach Christy Martin has her Saints playing the way she wants. Trailing by 6 and holding a bit of the game's momentum right now. They were battling back from a double-digit deficit here in the second half. That's Hannah Reynolds. She'll play for the last shot. Crossover to Johansson. That's their money shot down low. She can't get the shot to go in the turnaround. Still some time here. If the Clan can get a shot off, Drynan right down the floor. The skip to Jackson underneath for the lay-in, and that's going to do it. As time runs out in the third quarter, Taylor finishes it off. Big basket by Jackson, 49-41, an 8-point Clan lead here from the West Gym. And now we're going to take you out to Montana State Billings. The Clan trailing by 5 with 5:42 remaining in this game. And a tough break there as Simon Fraser gets right to the basket, gets called for the travel, and turns the ball over. If you're head coach Steve Hansen, this is where you watch your team. You're on the road with a chance in the second half of the game in the 2-possession deficit. Just got to get some key stops here for the guys in red. Howard Samuria with you, our special look in here from Billings, Montana. Thanks for joining us here on Clan TV. Simon Fraser, a well-deserved break this weekend following this Thursday game in Billings, Montana. Of course, next week, the 2 games in Alaska, and then a return home. That is Kobe Terashima, the Boise, Idaho native, the freshman, the 6'1" guard at the free throw line. He's going to knock down the first free throw. This Clan certainly can't allow this thing to get out of reach here. They're right in the basketball game as we head back to our live coverage from the West Gym. Fourth quarter now underway. St. Martin's in black with the basketball. Ball with a skip pass to Johansson. Victor, nice move against Swat, but can't get it to the finish. She gets an offensive rebound and a second on chance opportunity. Also won't go, but there's Simpson Panu battling hard. Call the jump ball there, and the alternating possession will go to Simon Fraser. Tia Sang checking out. Jessica Jones checking into the game now for Simon Fraser. Full court pressure for the first time tonight from St. Martin's. Clan break it easily, and here they come, 2-on-1 numbers. Jones, oh, great hustle by Panu to get down and break up that play. Simon Fraser with a 2-on-1. They had numbers, but Panu came sprinting down the floor to knock it out of bounds. 23 on the shot clock as the Clan keep possession. Back up to Jones to Drynan, who again comes up shy on the jump shot. Taylor Drynan has played a good game but has been unable to score. She's 0 for 6 overall, 0 for 5 from the 3-point stripe in this basketball game in about 24 minutes of action. 18 points in Nicole Vanderhelm leading the way for Simon Fraser. Simpson Panu leading all scorers with 19. Here's Johansson. Ooh, and she was a little bit lethargic on that pivot move. And this time gets called for the travel. She knew it, the big smile on her face as Taylor Jackson guarding her in the low block. She'll turn it over to the Clan. And once again, here comes that pressure. Kendall Sands will get over the half-court stripe and break it. Drynan. Christy Martin and company from Lacey, Washington, just wanting to get the Clan into a shorter shot clock here. Taylor with a turnaround move against Victor. Can't find the touch she wants. Swan chases it down. Nice offensive rebound from Sophie. Jackson to Jones, Jess for three. Oh, just off the mark there. And St. Martin's coming up with a loose ball as they charge down the floor with Simpson Panu. Ooh, she gets away with a carry there. Bruce Langford, the head coach, showing some body language there for that travel. Here is Reynolds. Hannah Reynolds right into the paint, the miss, and another rebound gobbled up by Sophie Swan, number 21. Swans at the high post to Drynan. Taylor's cross-court pass, tees it up for Jessica Jones, and Jones off the mark there. But a nice look there by Drynan. Swan steps right in front of Simpson Panu, and both players grimace as they crash to the floor. Sophie's going to get called for the foul. Simpson Panu gets called for the foul. And head coach Bruce Langford heard our call. No, she's not. Well, the coach knows, but let's just hope both players are okay. That's the main thing, as Sophie is grimacing as she comes off the court. Nicole Vanderhelm with 4 fouls into the game. Oh my God. Head coach Langford wanted to know why I said that, and I said, you know what, coach, I'll make the odd mistake. I was going to tell him he's got a nice sweater. Did you get that for Christmas? But he wanted to tell me about the call instead. Instead, it's Jessica Jones right to the basket for the lay-in, and a 10-point lead now for Simon Fraser. You get the full flavor of the game here on Clan TV, including the coaches talking to you despite the fact you're wearing a headset. Underneath to Victor, and Taylor Jackson is going to commit the foul there. The N1 opportunity for Mercedes Victor, number 15. I don't think Coach Martin's going to come over my way and correct me. So Victor at the free throw line. Her team with a 8-point deficit. Oh. Shot off the mark, and Kendall Sands, a great job to rip it away, and here comes Kendall down the floor. Nicole Vanderhelm. Oh, and Nicole Vanderhelm, what a great move by number 4 to drive and score the N1 opportunity. And Vanderhelm coming in, of course, because Swanton went out to shake off that collision. And Vanderhelm, with her 4 fouls, goes driving to the basket for the N1 opportunity. Great job by Vanderhelm to make it a 10-point lead. And she will make it 11. So Vanderhelm's had a terrific game for Simon Fraser. She's been dogged by fouls throughout, but has continued to deliver every time she gets back onto the floor for Simon Fraser. Victor the drive from 16. The jump shot is not going to rattle home, and Vanderhelm there with a rebound. The goal quickly to Taylor Drynan as the Clan come back up the floor. This is a time for Simon Fraser to lock in with some focus and see if they can't put away the opposition here. It is their home court and their game to win. Here's Taylor against Ellen Johansson, and Jackson crashing to the floor. Not a lot of bodies here in the Simon Fraser roster, but it is getting physical down low. And the official right now is talking to Ellen Johansson. Taylor's never shied away from the physical contact. But take a look on this Clan TV replay. There's Jessica Jones feeding. And Johansson going up to guard, got a leg underneath Taylor, who trips to the floor. So the subs got a little confusing there, but Jess Jones and Taylor Jackson will come out of the game. Claudia Hart's come into the game, and I believe, well, I'm losing track now. Jessica Jones is now coming back into the game, I think. Along with Jayla Russ, number 31 as well, who will go in for Johansson. Johansson with her third foul of the game. Strong words there from Christy Martin to the official. She is not happy about the way this game is being called, and she's letting the officials know about it right now. Her comment to the official, you're going to have to do a lot better than that. 70-68 the score right now for Montana State Billings over Simon Fraser in the late going. We'll keep you updated there as St. Martin's drives into the basket. Hannah Reynolds is going to get fouled and get to the free throw line. So Sophie Swant now with 4 fouls. As we do a quick cut into Billings, Montana. We catch them in a timeout is Steve Hansen, the head coach, along with assistant Sean Shook and Brett McDonald, trying to rally the troops in a huge, huge effort here by Simon Fraser as we cut back to the West Gym. Clan trailing by only 2 points down the stretch drive in Billings. We'll be sure to give you the final update from that contest. A make by Reynolds makes it an 11-point lead here for Simon Fraser. Vanderhelm now with the basketball. Nicole driving on the baseline. Baugh doing everything she can to slow her progress, but Vanderhelm has been that kind of a player tonight, so active and confident off the bounce, and she unfortunately stepped on the end line there, turned the ball over. Reynolds to Baugh, gets it back. This time to Victor, and the cut towards the basket by Russ, and Jayla Russ able to muscle her way underneath for a basket. It's a 9-point game, and these Saints coming in with that 5-game losing streak are not going to bow down and go out easily here. They are battling right to the end. Here's Jones with the basketball. Swant at the free throw line, the handoff play to Jones. They have been aggressive defensively throughout, and they create a turnover there in the half court. Here's McKenna Schultz with the basketball right down the floor. The outlet to Baugh. She'll swing it to Russ on the baseline. Jayla, another attempt underneath the basket, doesn't go. I believe we're going to take a quick trip to Billings. Upcoming, I'm told. And there is a timeout on the floor here, a media timeout. So Clan TV now in Billings, Montana, as Michael Provenzano, his team trailing by 4, 73-69. Othniel pulls up for 3, can't get that to go. And I think we're just under a minute remaining. In all of our cuts today, I don't think we've seen a Simon Fraser field goal. It's been that kind of a night. But the Clan, as you can see by the scoreboard, have played well. They're in a pickle right now, though, trailing by 4 with 45 seconds left, 13 on the shot clock. Kendall Denham now for Montana Billings. Kicks it back up top to Tyler Green, or Zaron Richmond, check that. They'll get off another jump shot. A tip attempt there by Zach Rollins is not going to go. It looks like a foul underneath, and is that going to be against Tyrell Lewin? So there's a half a second difference between game and shot right now, and 30.5 seconds left. The Clan trailing by 4. And that's Daniel Shedden, the junior out of Costa Rica, stepping up to the free throw line and making the first. Basket here would make it a 6-point lead, a 2-possession lead. Stick with it to see if Shedden can get it, then we'll cut back quickly live here to the West Gym. Oh, we're not gonna. We're right back with you here. We'll be sure to bring you the final score if we don't have another cut in at Billings. As Shayla Russ steps up and hits the first free throw. St. Martin's has been on the verge of having this game get out of hand for them, but they have continued to battle. And a Russ make here will make it a 7-point game with 5:05 remaining. Subs for both teams here, trying to keep fresh troops in the game. But Simon Fraser, number of players with 4 fouls. That one is going to rattle out for Shayla Russ. Keep that lead at 8 points for Simon Fraser in white. They have the basketball. Cross-court pass. Tia Sang, she splits the defense. Quick pass to Vanderhelm. The give to Taylor Drynan. Great job defensively being done by the Saints as Vanderhelm kicks to Sang for 3. Off the side iron, and the rebound gobbled up by Baugh. Very quickly to Emma Kennedy, number 5. Kennedy, though, turns it over as they were looking for McKenna Schultz in the corner. Jones was looking for Swant. A fingertip got in the way there, and sometimes it just takes a fingertip. Sanaya Simpson-Patu and Hannah Reynolds as well. Ellen Johansson checking into this basketball game. So some reinforcements, fresh ones for St. Martin's. And we will cut back to Billings. As you can see, we're switching venues here on Clan TV today. Simon Fraser, with 14.2 seconds left, is really in a tough spot here, trailing by 6 points. That's a tough one for the Clan. Wins so hard to get in the GNAC, and of course that trilogy of games that began with that overtime loss at Seattle Pacific just before the new year. Follow that with a decisive win over Central Washington, a loss from the free throw line basically at the buzzer with a tenth of a second left to Northwest Nazarene, then a loss to undefeated Western Washington, and now a tough one on the road here. Clan with a 12-point halftime lead, and this one almost in the books. It's a 5-point deficit, a timeout called with 7.6 seconds left in the game. And I suspect our producer Gabe Lynn will be passing on a final score because we've still got a lot of basketball left here at the West Gym. Thanks for joining us again here from the West Gym. We haven't had a chance, so I want to very quickly pass on our thanks when we get an open opportunity here to some of those sponsors who help get Clan TV on the air. But we're back to main action here from the West Gym. That was a cue to our producer Gabe Lynn. Back up top to Johansson. Schultz working off the high screen is going to get right to the basket and draw the foul. And if that's against Sophie Swan, she is now fouled out of this basketball game. And once again, I'm wrong. Jessica Jones, the SFU Spirit Shop. You can visit them for all your SFU gear. In the Maggie Benson Center here at the Burnaby campus, the SFU Spirit Shop. We thank them for being a supporter of Clan TV. Jones got the foul. It's her third of the game. Both her and Swan were in the vicinity. 4:06 remaining here. Charter Bus Lines as well. We can never go a full broadcast without thanking our friends at Charter Bus Lines, the official motor coach of Simon Fraser Athletics, and they are happy to serve as the official motor coach, especially for Simon Fraser Clan football. So thanks again to Charter Bus Lines. Vanderhelm with the basketball now, just under 4 minutes remaining in this game. Drynan wants the three ball. This time Taylor will knock it down. A big one for Taylor Drynan, who has struggled from the field mightily today, but knocks down the big triple with 3:45 remaining to make it 59-50. Schultz off the dribble, right to the glass. McKenna Schultz can't finish it. And here come the Clan. That was a big basket from Taylor Drynan at this juncture of the basketball game, especially when a stop follows it and Simon Fraser gets the ball back. Jessica Jones to Drynan. Clan content to milk the shot clock down. It's down to 4 seconds though. Jones wants a shot instead from the free throw line. She'll pull up from 15 off the back iron. And a rebound gobbled up there by Simpson-Panu. 78-73 is our final score from Billings, Montana, where the host Jackets with a win over Simon Fraser men. At the West Gym here, Vanderhelm, the jump shot off the mark, and Simpson Patu rather, facing a tough double team there. A timeout being called by St. Martin, so we'll keep it right here. So a 5-point loss for the Clan men, and that's a tough one for head coach Steve Hansen and company. You look at the body of work from the last 5 games for Simon Fraser, and they have lost in overtime on the road and lost by 5 after leading by 12 at Montana State Billings, and that's not an easy trip to make, especially when you're going there for a single game coming off a 3-game homestand. Not an easy one, but the Clan men play well, just don't get the result they want there. Next home game is going to be January the 13th at 7 p.m. And we'll hope you'll join us for that game against Seattle Pacific. Simon Fraser and Seattle Pacific. So a lot of basketball to be played, but Saturday is another Clan home night. Seattle Pacific in to face the Clan women. Hope you'll join us again on Clan TV, or better yet, come to the West Gym and watch the Simon Fraser Clan in action. McKenna Schultz has been taking it to the rack hard throughout the stretch drive of this basketball game. Number 10, the smallest player on the floor, but clearly one of their top players. I believe she's the 3rd leading scorer on this team. Skip pass, Simpson Patu, high archer, and she'll get it to fall. Her trademark, she manufactures shots everywhere. Suddenly it's a 7-point game, and Simon Fraser certainly not out of danger. They got to be really careful here down the stretch drive. Vanderhelm. Foul being called against Hannah Reynolds. Some real feeling in this game down the stretch. That's Baugh checking into the game, number 13. Oh, great job there by Baugh. She gets it and slaps it out of bounds. But early in the shot clock here for Simon Fraser, Vanderhelm will inbounds with 27 on the shot clock. Vanderhelm up top to Dryden. Ooh, wanted a skip pass there. Mercedes Victor came careening in to knock it out of bounds. Double team comes quickly. Vanderhelm to Sang, back up top to Taylor Dryden. They will foul Taylor with 1:54 remaining.
And the line for SMU, number 5, Taylor Dryden.
Dryden at the free throw line, making the first as an 8-point Clan lead with just under 2 minutes remaining. Simon Fraser, of course, if you were watching, got off to an extremely slow start. They trailed 13-2 by 11 points at one stretch, and have built their lead to double digits. So the big swing has been there as Dryden again successful from the free throw line. As we talked to Nicole Vanderhelm, our halftime guest, certainly agreeing this is a must-win situation to stay within that tangled up GNAC pack as Schultz puts up the 3-ball. Tipped away, Jackson will squeeze it underneath. And as Dryden attempts to get back up floor, the foul being called against McKenna Schultz, number 10.
And line for SMU, number 5, Taylor Dryden.
Simon Fraser, of course, coming in tonight after that split on the road last week. They won at Western Oregon, they lost in Concordia, so the Oregon trip results in a 1-1 record. Dryden, who is pointless for the majority of this game, has now gone 4 for 4 from the stripe, hit a triple, and has made a solid offensive contribution when it's really mattered here down the stretch, so great play from number 5. Jump shot by Baugh off the mark and Swank with the rebound. Very quickly comes Simpson Patu to foul, and Taylor Dryden living at the stripe here down the stretch.
And block for SFU number 5, Taylor Dryden.
Certainly not many American players have played for the Clan women's basketball program over all these years. Taylor Dryden, I remember after Bruce Langford had recruited her, he was so excited about number 5 coming up here, and we can see why. She's been a solid, willing learner here in her second season, and big part of the future here for this Clan basketball team. 1:15 remaining. That lead now at 13 points. St. Martin's will give nothing here down the stretch drive. We will have another parade to the free throw line as we continue to get our extended finish here. Taylor Jackson now. Taylor Jackson so much more comfortable this season, her second with the Clan after coming over from Cal Irvine, where she started her career at the Division I level following a star-studded career at Brookswood Secondary in Langley. One of the top players in the province her senior year of high school. The Clan will finally not get an automatic trip to the free throw line here. They will inbound the basketball. Of course, St. Martin's with their MO. We'll see what happens as Jackson inbounds to Swan very quickly, and there goes Victor, who will foul her. Sophie Swant has been a key factor for this team as she steps up to the free throw line. A number of Clan players electing not to return this season. And Sophie Swant, as a junior, very quickly became one of those leader types on this basketball team. This is a player who has certainly worked on her game since high school and is a solid offensive contributor. She's always been checking the boxes off in terms of defense, heart and soul, physical play, but now bringing the complete package here as a junior for this Clan basketball team. Great take to the basket there by Baugh, just doesn't have the finish. And the foul will be committed. We're down to 52.7 seconds, and it's going to be Rebecca Baugh committing the foul. Nicole Vanderhelm, we've talked about her, and of course she was our halftime guest and got off to such a great start in the second half. Hit 4 threes to really complete the rally back from that early deficit for Simon Fraser. She gets her share of fans out here at the West Gym from Surrey, where she started Holy Cross Secondary School. For her head coach, Steve Beauchamp, and another player who tested the waters at D1, wanted to come back home, had gone to Santa Clara in the West Coast Conference. And now her first year with the Clan. Simon Fraser's parade to the free throw line has pushed their lead to 19 points. Subs galore now on the floor for St. Martin's. The jump shot there by Shyler Sullivan off the mark. The Clan really don't have a bet. They can't put a second string so-called into the game. They only have 8 players. And they're on the verge of getting a nice win here tonight, one they had to get. When a team that sits below you in the standings comes in here, and you're playing at home in the GNAC full of parity, you got to get the wins, and that's what they've done here. And if this game was in St. Martin's, you'd say the same thing for the Saints. Tia Sang with a rebound, she'll dribble out the clock, and that's going to do it here from the West Gym. 71-52, our final score. The Simon Fraser Clan with a victory. Hope you'll join us again on Saturday for Seattle Pacific in town to face the Clan women. 7 o'clock tip here on Clan TV. Howard Samura here for the entire Clan TV crew, including Sports Information Director Steve Frost, and our producer Gabe Lynn. The rest of our camera crew, all our statisticians here at the West Gym. Thanks for joining us. The final score, Simon Fraser 71 and St. Martin's 52. We'll join you again on Saturday.